Hi guys, Danne here again. We're going to do another base scout and attack analysis from our most recent war. Base we want to look at this time is Omar here, number 3. This is going to be a HoLoWiWi attack, and so I wanted to go through and talk about why I chose this base, what makes it good for hogs, and then what my attack plan going in was, and then we'll watch the replay and see how it went. This is not the type of traditional base that you would use for HoLoWiWi. A traditional HoLoWiWi base has a ring of defenses kind of spread further out, and then it's got the anti-air closer into the core. The idea behind these bases was originally to get the hogs going in this ring, and then because there were no closer defenses in between, this would all be like storages and stuff, the hogs would never go into the core. They would keep going around the ring, and then you'd have, at locations in the ring, you'd have double giant bomb locations, and as the hogs are coming around, they'd hit the double giant bombs, and it killed the hog rate. So they were originally designed as an anti-hog idea. Also, the other idea was to have the ring made it impossible to lure the CC without having to kill a few buildings. They were really popular for a while. In fact, I ran with one of those bases for a while. People have started to figure out that they're susceptible to HoLoWiWi, and so you see them less and less, but some people still use them. And so when I'm looking for a base to HoLoWiWi, that's the archetypal type of base that you would look for, that you really want to hit. This base is got better positioned air defenses. You notice every defensive building is at least partially covered by an air defense, and they're not centered into the center. So it wouldn't be one that you would normally attack with a HoLoWiWi. However, just because you can't knock out the entire outer ring doesn't mean that you can't use your loons selectively to take out a few key buildings, and that's what I wanted to show in this video. We're going to only use 6 loons, and we're only going to take out 3 buildings using those 6 loons. But those 3 buildings that we take out are key buildings because they happen to be the buildings that where the giant bombs would path into, and by taking those 3 out, we eliminate the paths through the giant bombs. So, that being said, let's look at the base and determine where the giant bombs could be. Anytime you're trying to decide whether you want to use hogs on a base, you got to know where the giant bombs are and if there's double giant bomb possibilities. So, bombs could be here in any of these locations. These could also be Teslas, of course, as well. But you notice there's only 8 slots available inside the base, and you're going to have 4 Teslas and 4 giant bombs. So you know there's going to be something in each of these. If it's not a Tesla, it's a giant bomb. So when you're first sending in those loons at the start, or whatever troops you're going to use to lure the CC or all of that, you're watching to see if Teslas pop. So if I send in some hogs here to lure the CC, just as an example, and a Tesla pops here, and one here or not, then that lets me know, okay, this can't be a giant bomb. That means one of these up here is going to be a giant bomb. So you want to be keeping in mind where the possibilities are, and as the raid unfolds, as the Teslas pop, that eliminates where a giant bomb could be, and that lets you know that, okay, it must be somewhere else. We can also make a few other educated guesses. These are almost certainly going to be Teslas right here, for a couple reasons. One, they're central next to the town hall, and that's a very popular place to put Teslas. 2, if these were giant bombs, they would be very, very poorly placed because no hog path goes into them. Hogs come this way, they bounce around through these defenses, they would never hit those giant bombs. Any way that the hogs came, they'd split, they would never go over those giant bombs. So they have to be Teslas. So that we know for sure takes care of 2 of the Teslas. The other Teslas could be anywhere. They could be sprinkled just randomly, or sometimes people like to do symmetric and have them on both sides of the town hall. My guess was that they were going to be right here, because that would put them next to the town hall in a symmetric position. Turns out I was right, but I went in knowing that they could possibly be somewhere else, like up here. And so when I send in my loons, the first thing I was watching for is, do the Teslas pop? You're going to see in a second I sent loons here, here, and here. No Teslas popped. That immediately let me know, okay, these are all bombs. Right here, 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 and here, because no Teslas popped. The other thing you want to look for when you're doing a hog raid is, are there double giant bombs? There's no traditional double giant bomb locations in this base. A traditional double giant bomb location is going to be a 4x2 rectangle, and you're going to have the 2 bombs next to each other, and then you're going to have defenses on either side, either this way, or sometimes people go this way. Yes, it looks like a 5-year-old drew this, I'm sorry. You don't see any of those possible locations here. There is, however, a possible double giant bomb location here that's a little bit unconventional, but still dangerous, and so you want to watch out for it. Even though these bombs aren't side by side in the normal way, they're close enough together that they could be potentially set off by a group of hogs and kill all your hogs. For example, if the hogs are coming in this way, they would kill this building. The next building they would pass to would be that mortar. And the way that hogs tend to go is they'll congregate in a line here. They won't all stop in one spot. They kind of push each other around and jostle for position. And there's always going to be one or two that end up over here. Well, the one or two that end up over here are going to be within the trigger radius of this bomb and set it off. So a group of hogs coming this way could set off both of those bombs. And then, of course, if this bomb does get set off, its damage radius is 3.5 squares. 3.5 squares is all the way out to here. Okay, it's going to be a circle that goes about like this. That means all these hogs on this entire side would get hit by both and die instantly. The only hogs that wouldn't die instantly would be the few that kind of congregated over here, just barely outside of this one's range. They'd get hit by this one, but your heal would be able to save them. They wouldn't get hit by this one, but the vast majority of your hogs would be right here, and they'd get hit by both. Same scenario if they come this way, only this would be the one. So this is a double giant bomb location, even though it doesn't look like one. So when we're doing hogs, if there's double giant bomb locations, we either have to defuse them or make it so that the hogs don't go over them. You have to have a plan for it. You can't attack a base with hogs if you don't know how you're going to get rid of those double giant bombs. In this case, my plan is to kill these two buildings. If these two buildings are here, there's no reason for the hogs to go right here. The hogs, if they're coming this way, would go like this, but they'd never go that way. If they're coming this way, again, so that by taking these two buildings out, the hogs are never going over those giant bombs. So how can we take them out? Well, like I was saying earlier, this isn't a traditional HoLoWiWi base because all the defenses are covered. You notice that one's covered by this one, and that one's covered by this one. However, they're only just barely covered, and so that means that we can still take them out with loons. We're just going to have to bring in one more than we normally would. Normally you can get rid of an archer tower with one loon. It goes in, it drops its bomb, and then it dies, and the death finishes it off. It does exactly 810 damage, and if you take a look, 805, so just enough. You only need one. Well, what's going to happen with this air defense being here is that loon's going to come in, it's going to get started to get weakened by this. By the time it gets to the archer tower, it will be in the red. The air defense is going to start shooting only when it gets about right here, but it's only going to take one hit to kill it. So the loon will die. It won't have a chance to drop its bomb. It takes about 2 seconds from when the loon gets to about right here before it starts to drop its bomb. So you need to be able to have a plan for your loon to stay alive for 2 seconds while it's here. The way that you make that happen is you just send two. The first one is going to be taking all the hits, and as soon as it gets here, the air defense shoots it and kills it. Well, your other one is right next to it, and it's got full health. Of course, everything's going to start shooting it now, but it only needs 2 seconds to get that one bomb dropped. So even though it's covered by air defense, 2 loons will take it out. So, 2 loons, sorry, that info thing's in the way. 2 loons here, 2 loons here, these are gone. Okay, now looking up here at the top of the base, these are also possible double giant bomb locations. Now they could be Teslas as well, but just in case they're double giant bombs, I wanted to take them out. This cannon right here is barely covered by the air defenses, and so they won't start shooting the loons until the loons are already on top of them, which means they're for sure going to have a chance to at least drop one. So I'm going to do 2 loons here. That will take out this. That takes care of all of the possible bomb locations. With this gone, the hogs are going to come this way, and it's going to be no problem. Now there's a potential that they could still trigger that bomb. This one's, because it's a little bit angled down, so you want to have your heals ready. It could and if this one pops in as a Tesla, then you know you've got a giant bomb here, and you're going to have to worry about that. But we've at least taken care of the double giant bomb locations. The next issue is the queen. That's another reason why this base is a good base to hog, is because the queen is accessible from the outside. Troops that come in and attack this are within her radius, which means she's going to come out and attack them. And then as soon as she starts attacking them, all of your troops that are in that range are going to go in and aggro on her and take her out. You got to kill the queen for hog raids, as we've talked about previously. So my idea was the loons to kill these, and of course they're going to pull the CC as well, because see, these are within the CC range. Anchor archer here, CC troops come out, kill squad goes down, kill squad consisting of 2 witches and 2 wizards. Their job is to kill the CC troops and to kill the queen. They'll get the king and the queen to help them kill the queen as well. If they do extra damage after that and kill the rest of the base, that's a bonus, but their main job is to take her out and to take out the CC troops. Then hogs are going to come in from this side and this side. I like to take 2 buildings at a time on. It only takes 10 of your hogs to kill a building in 1 hit, or less actually. You can get like 8, I believe, to kill most buildings in 1 hit. So it doesn't make any sense to have all 30 or something hogs go at the same building, because 8 of them are going to kill it, and the other 22 hogs, their hit is just going to hit air. It's basically wasted. So in the same amount of time, if I split them up and send 10 here and 10 here, they kill 2 buildings in 1 hit instead of 1 building in 1 hit. Then after that, they're going to path into the same building. And then they're going to path into different buildings on their way out, because they'll congregate on different sides of the building. So this group will go this way, and this group will go this way. You're going to notice I don't use all my hogs at first. That's because this base is actually designed a little bit trickily. I don't know if that's a real word, but I'll say it anyway. Such that the hogs, there's no one path where the hogs will like bounce around in one big group. The defenses are all kind of close enough to each other, especially with these Teslas here, that your hogs are going to start to split. You're going to have 3 go this way, 2 go this way, 1 go this way. They're going to kind of fan out. That's a problem with a hog raid. You can't heal that many groups. You've only got 4 heal spells. And so if you try to send all 35 or however many hogs you're bringing in one group, and then they start to split off, all of a sudden, you know, you've got 10 going this way, 10 going this way, and 10 going this way. Well, which group are you going to keep alive, right? You can't keep them all alive, and if you try, you'll lose. So you end up trying to keep one group alive, but now you've only got 10, and these other 20, yeah, they'll kill a building or 2 before they peter off and die out, but now basically you've lost 20 hogs, and you've only got 10 left to finish your raid. It becomes a big problem. So what I'm going to end up doing is sending them in 3 different groups. I'm going to send part of my troops in at first. I'm going to send the bulk in, because at first is when there's the most damage being done to them. They're going to bounce their way around in here, but I'm going to plan to abandon the ones that go this way. You're going to have about 5 or 6 that go this way. They're just going to have to die. It's a loss that has to be done, because I need to keep the bulk alive with my heals. I'm going to follow this group with heals. However, because I saved some additional ones out, once this group breaks off, I can supplement them with 5 or 6 more. Now this group is back up to full strength and can continue on. As they go through, some will die and some will kind of get sucked off to go after these Teslas and other things. I'm going to do the same thing from this side. I'm going to supplement them in with a couple extra hogs. That way the main group, I'm only following one group around with heals. I'm not trying to heal all the little strays that go off on their own. But I'm also making sure that that main group has enough troops to keep the fight going. If I had just sent them all in at once, they would have petered out by the time they got here. I know that sounds a little bit weird. It'll make sense when we watch the replay, so let's watch the replay. Okay, so here come the loons, 2 up top. Travel time doesn't matter there because nothing's hitting them. And then 2 here, double finger drops so that they're not shooting the same one, so that they both make it. And boom, perfect. We got the CC pole and took out the buildings. This is now safe. Here's the anchor archer. They're on their way. 1, waited a second. 2, so now you see they're raising skellies at a different rate. Some of the skellies come down, some don't. That's kind of annoying, but that's okay. We dealt with it. Lose a whiz here, which kind of stinks. Not the cleanest kill, but yeah, didn't lose any witches, so I'm happy with that. Notice here the skellies come down, and boom, Queen aggro's on them, and everybody's like, hey, you can't do that. And then they come. Made a silly mistake here. I got caught up in dropping my hogs. Here they come, and I didn't rage my king, or use his ability, I mean. So he died. Oh well. Alright, here come the hogs in the 2 groups, like I said. Now, why did I drop a heal right there? Right, I know there's no giant bombs, so what's the heal for? Well, it's this wizard tower here. These beefed up level 7 wizard towers are killer on your hogs. They'd only, I mean, I've had a level 7 wizard tower and a queen take out an entire group of hogs in like 5 seconds when I wasn't watching. I attacked with hogs from one side, and then I started dropping hogs on the other side, and by the time I looked back to see how these guys were doing, they were all dead. So you got to take these wizard towers seriously. when there's a level 7 wizard tower surrounded by 3 or 4 defenses, I'm always going to heal that, because those hogs are going to take their time killing those defenses, and that level 7 wizard tower can really get them down. Alright, continue the raid. So here you see I've got a bunch coming off this way. They're going to do a good job clearing some stuff out, but I'm letting them die. They're done after that. The heals are going to follow these guys, and here come in that second group I was talking about to supplement them, and then more up here to supplement these. So basically I'm making my own path by following these hogs around, and the strays that kind of come off on their own and try to do something else, they just have to, here comes the other group, they just have to die. You notice I kept some wizards in my pocket. Now that this whole area here is cleared out, there's no defenses, time to start cleanup. So I drop a wiz here, I drop a wiz here, and I drop a wiz here. These are all safe zones now. Might as well get that cleanup started. We have both of our witches still alive, which is great. That doesn't always happen, but that means we're going to have even extra cleanup power, and there's the queen doing her business. And the last heal goes down to protect, because we have these powerful max Teslas in the max wizard tower again. They would shred my troops if we didn't do that. Alright, now all the defenses go down, and we're golden. Now the troops do path down here for cleanup and get that bomb. So by killing this, we didn't completely avoid the bomb, but what we did do is we avoided the bomb while defenses were alive. They ended up hitting it, but not until all the defenses were dead, so it didn't matter. Yeah, they've got there in the red, but so what? Whether they're in the red or not, they still kill buildings at the same rate. So I'm not so worried about my hogs hitting the giant bombs at the end of the raid. It's when the defenses are alive that you don't want them to. And let's go ahead and speed it up. It's a race to the finish. Who's going to get there? So we were right that these were the bomb locations. And that was the raid. Hope you guys enjoyed it.